In about 24 hours, the People's Democratic Party will be conducting its presidential primary to select the official flag bearer for the party in the 2023 election. Aspirants under the platform will be hoping that all their consultations will yield positive results, as they hope party delegates will support their quest for the presidential ticket. The opposition party has screened 17 aspirants that obtained this presidential form, aiming to contest in the 2023 election. But with the resignation of former state governor Peter Obi from the PDP, the number of aspirants has since dropped to about 14, with a disqualification during the screening process of 2 persons. One of the names on the list looking to get the ticket is Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa. The presidential hopeful has promised to deal with the economy if he becomes the president come 2023, to make sure all is working well. But before he gets the chance to implement his ideas, he needs to win the party primary and the 2023 election. Joining us on this show this morning as we discuss the PDP presidential primary taking place this weekend and his chances to secure the ticket is Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa, presidential aspirant on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. Welcome to the morning show, Mazi Ohuabunwa. Good morning.
Thank you, the very distinguished Dr. Ruben Apati and the crew in Arise.
Morning, sir. Well, you are among the aspirants left in the race. And how is it going? How many delegates have you been able to secure? Because this is just about 24 hours to the event. By now, you should have your delegates camped somewhere, protected. You should have an idea. So what are your prospects tomorrow? That's one. And two, is there any discussion about consensus still going on within the PDP? Or all the aspirants are just going to file out there tomorrow and do battle? And then by Sunday morning, hopefully, we'll know who has won.
Thank you. First and foremost is that we have done our bit. We have come into the political scene to make a difference. I normally call myself political missionary. I have come with completely new set of talents, skill sets to change the impression that politics is a gerrymandering affair. It is a very serious business that can only be done, especially leadership at this level, by people who understand and are willing to make the sacrifice, by the people who are enlightened, who have a vision, who have a commitment and determination to lead the people out of its merry clay, to get us out of this pit we seem to have fallen into over many years. And sometimes we seem to be digging deeper. It requires somebody who has the ability to decipher, understand what the issues are, and to be able to take the necessary courageous actions to change them. And I therefore come prepared, and in doing so, I have done my bit. As I told somebody, without sounding immodest, I may have been the hardest working presidential candidate. And that's what happens when you come from behind, when you're like an underdog. I've been around that country at least twice to all the 36 states of Nigeria, largely by road. And I have stirred up some interest in the hearts of delegates, both the statutory delegates that are no longer voting and the national delegates that will vote, those of them who have reached. And we're working from a point of view of conviction, not coercion. We're not camping anybody. We have just spoken to them, and we are confident that many, in their quiet moments, will enter into the cubicle to vote, and they will think about the future. They will think about Nigeria's economy. They wonder what we need to do based on what I have said, that we have to mobilize Nigerians, motivate the entire Nigerian populace. We have a large population, but that population is largely unproductive. Our productivity level is low as measured by GDP, our output, and gross national product as measured by per capita income. Everything we look shows that we're a poor country. Yeah, we have the greatest potential in the world. I say that advisedly, to be a very rich and wealthy country. I also believe that we should have a man at the helm of affairs who is empathetic, who is visionary, who can unite the country, who understands the necessary things to do to bring disparate people and make them into a team, or bring a disparate nations and build them into a united nation. And we also need a man who has justice, equity in his heart, who understands that do unto others as you like them to do unto you, who understands the injunctions, love your neighbor as yourself, who cares for all. That's what I have spoken to my guys in the delegates, and many have assured me that even if they were eroded, even if they were housed, even if they had soldiers marching to them, when they enter into the voting booth, they'll be alone and they'll vote to their conscience. And that's what I have preached. While I prefer that they vote for me, but my concern is let's vote the best man who can do the job. Because Ruben and Tim, you know, we're tired of this story. We've been going around in a circle. You've been in government and you know all the efforts that were made, and yet here we are. We have gone several steps behind where we were in 2015. We need to reverse this and set ourselves on a reversible track that will take us to become a globally competitive nation, a first world that can stand proud in the Committee of Nations and stop being the joke of the world. Then on the issue of is there consensus, that's not discussed. Last night we had a meeting of all the political aspirants with the Convention Planning Committee, and nothing is being discussed in the area of consensus. What we're speaking about is to have a free and fair election, to give our delegates the choice. We're talking about democracy, and democracy is a choice. If the people make the right choice, then they'll be responsible for what the outcome is. But if you coerce them into some arranged consensus, so I'm not saying it's out of the table, but it's not on the out of the consideration, but it's not on the table so far.
All right. Like Dr. Abati pointed out in his introduction, you are among the 14 aspirants left in the race to contest your party's ticket. You have promised, as you said, to deal with the economy and to make Nigeria a first world nation if you become president. However, many analysts have projected a number of front runners in the PDP. The Governor Wike and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, for example. Now, how confident are you that you will clinch your party's ticket over these two aspirants?
Thank you. You see, I am a boardroom strategist, I'm a corporate strategist, I'm a marketing person. I have limited resources and have applied those limited resources to where it will yield the greatest result. I may not be raving in the Twitter or in Facebook or even on television or media. That's where some people have built their constituency. I have built mine walking around the 36 states of Nigeria, meeting with the delegates over and over. I went the first 36 times, 36 states, establishing a new Nigeria group, which is a non-political platform for giving hope to Nigeria, Nigerians that a new Nigeria is possible. Not this old and fading country that has begun to kill its people, eat its people, that has stultified the growth of our people. We are potentially great country. We never become great. We are perpetually growing, developing. We never become developed. That's the country I've dealt with in the 61 years of independence. So many people want to have a change. They are looking at a new visitor. They're looking at new ideology. They're looking at a man with pedigree, who has integrity, who has competence, who has courage, who has character, and who can perform. They are looking at bringing accountability from the private sector, bringing performance, where we can be sure that we set KPIs, we have a vision, we set key performance indicators, and we're monitoring ourselves every month, every quarter, every year to be sure that we're moving in the direction. You don't employ people and put them at jobs, and 6 years, 4 years, you can't even say what they have done. I come from the private sector where we give value for money. We borrow money from the banks and we produce money, we pay interest and produce wealth. And so we're accountable. The Nigerian money that we spend is wasted, largely wasted. There was a time capital expenditure in this country was 60% of our budget, while recurrent was 40%. In my lifetime, this has been reversed. Now, recurrent expenditure is almost 90%, with capital less than. The other time we even borrowed. I was reading the Minister of Finance this morning say the oil money we're earning from crude petroleum is not enough to pay for the importation of finished products we're doing. This is crazy, and I don't think it's nice for us to be talking about this over and over. So I believe that my chances are as good as any, because it is not just being a star in the media. I have not concentrated on the media, even with the best support I've received from beautiful and balanced organizations like the Arise TV. These other guys are long established in the game. They are known. So, and they've established everything that can, and many of them have access to funds, which I do not have. But when it comes to voting today or tomorrow, I am presuming that the delegates will do what their conscience asks them to do. And therefore, the results may not be exactly what you are predicting.
Okay. At first, you've done a lot. You've gone around the country. You've put in an effort, which is good. But a lot of people are saying you might not necessarily be a front runner. In a case where you don't get it this time, are we to see a Sam Ohuabunwa come back again in the next 4 years? Because you're 71 years old already. And in the next 4 years, you'll probably be 75. So is there a possibility?
Well, if you know my track record, check me out. In the last 40 years, I've been involved in economic, political, social development of our country. I've led advocacies as chairman of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Ikeja, president of Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, president of Nigeria American Chamber of Commerce, chairman of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. I was involved in Vision 2010, Vision 2020 strategic plans. I was a member of the National Political Conference. I've never been wanting, I may not seek too much publicity, or you may not hear me outside the pharmaceutical industry, which is my forte. But the problem is, the truth is that I am involved until I die. I will be walking in or out. This is the first time I'm standing to say, give me power to get things done. I've done out of moral suasion, NGO, advocacy. That's where I have worked. But I found that advocacy, persuading people, begging people to do the right thing. If I put a summit in Abuja here, Nigerian Economic Summit Group, I'm going to beg the president. Abati knows that. I'm going to beg the vice president. I'm going to beg ministers. I'm going to beg governors to come and use my platform. When we've spent money to bring international speakers, sometimes they don't come. Sometimes they tell you they come when you think they were not going to come. So I have been involved, and whatever happens this week will not change my desire to continue to work for Nigeria in whatever form Nigerians find me useful.
Well, Mazi, very quickly, let me ask you. The financial inducement of delegates has become a very big issue in this process. One newspaper, at least one newspaper, or two or three, today, this morning, quoted President Goodluck Jonathan at a book event saying that, look, what is happening is embarrassing, it's disgraceful, and that the National Assembly should come up with legislation to criminalize the inducement of delegates at political party primaries. What do you think of that? And as someone who is on the field, how bad is it? At least we have one example of Adam Namadi Sambo, Kaduna North Federal Constituency, who were told had to ask delegates who collected money from him to come and return the money, since he couldn't get the ticket. And in Ondo State, another politician, also in the PDP, who was said to have given out cars to party tutors, were told, as insisted that those vehicles he gave out in expectation that he would be given the ticket should be returned. What has been your experience, and how bad is it? And do you think, giving delegates money should be criminalized?
I believe that delegate inducement is a very negative thing. And actually, those who are claiming they gave cars, I hope EFCC is listening, because if we are talking about fighting crime, they need to tell us how they raise the funds to be able to be giving cars and giving millions. my people from my area said, a man who is not carrying anything cannot break anything. I don't have that kind of money to induce people. So what we are concerned is making sure that we provide logistics to those who are working for us, those who support us, that they're able to come and go from Abuja. That's our best effort. We're not in the, because I've said, how do you need to bribe somebody to hire you to do a work which you're going to sacrifice everything? Being the president or even being governor, if we understand what leadership is all about, it is sacrifice. It is giving of yourself, walking away from the comfort zones of a private sector person, a CEO, a boardroom guru, a chairman of companies. Leave all that, all my private consultancy, to come and serve. It is sacrifice. And the reward I get is that I see my country better. I see my country better respected. I see the quality of life of citizens better. Because that's the whole essence of governance. Every day, are we having better life expectation, life expectancy? Is the quality of life, is the misery index growing? Is the per capita income growing? Is the purchasing power growing? Is the Naira being strengthened so that people can buy? Are we having more of our children getting work? Is our education getting better? Do we have access to mortgage funding or financing? Do we have health insurance that everybody can buy health not when they are sick? For me, that is the issue. That's what we're telling delegates. And I'm not going to bribe people to give me a job. I'm going to make sacrifice. And I'm not expecting any return, physical, financial return. That's the old politics. And that's why we're talking about a new Nigeria. This new Nigeria will happen when this thing will not be, this type of bribing people, will end. And it starts with having a proper leadership. The leader of the country dictates the tone, the moral tone, the ethical tone, and everything else. But if you have people who are willing to condone and fraternize with evil, evil is happening in our eyes. We're seeing them, INEC is seeing them, EFCC is seeing them, whoever is seeing them, police, army. And we're just reporting them in the media, and it's causing us to laugh. We must be jokers because the world is watching. The world is seeing us, and it helps to reduce our rating in the eyes of the civilized world. So I know that people put pressure, but you see, there's no way you're coming from. I'm not under any pressure personally. My delegates, those who have said, Mazi will vote for you. Whether you give us money, you don't give us, we know you're not a money. Somebody said, I've checked your CV. You're a technocrat. You're a boardroom person. I see you're spending your money. You're not a government contractor. You've not received security allowance. You've not received constituency allowance. So you are spending your money, and which is true. I'm realizing my stock and my assets to be able to fund this because I believe it is worth it to sacrifice whatever I earn to make Nigeria a better place is a worthy investment. And I'm making it without expecting a return. But I'm not likely to bribe people because it is not a desperate act. I'm making myself presenting myself to the government, to the people of Nigeria, and letting them know that I am the guy for the moment. I am the person God has equipped and prepared to come and solve Nigeria's conundrum. These 61 years of moving around in a circle and not making substantial growth, of bringing shame to our people, that must come to an end. And I want to tell you, my friends, and those who are listening to me, that we'll see that there are still honorable people in Nigeria who believe that we have collected money for many years, we have not done better. The youth is not better. Unemployment is at 53 or 55% for the youth. Poverty is 71%. We don't have good health care, we don't have good education. Yet we're collecting money from about the same kind of people. We must be, Mumu will be much beyond redemption if we continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. So the pressures may be there for those who make themselves available. It's the market you trade in that you are accosted. I have not been really harassed by anybody. People have been chilled. When they hear me, they speak. They say, Mazi, where have you been? You are the kind of person Nigeria needs. But we know Nigeria. Say, well, there's no knowing Nigeria. We are the Nigerians. And if we want to change Nigeria, it should start from this election to change Nigeria. But if we don't want to change Nigeria, we still go collecting money. The highest bidder gets it. We'll be here in 4 years' time. I will have nothing personal to lose except the opportunity to have done better, to have led our country to be a better nation, globally competitive, perhaps aiming to be a first world like Singapore, or an emergent nation, industrialized nation, like many other countries, South Korea, that were at the same level before. That's my desire. That's my heartbeat. All my life, all I have always wanted to do is to play a major role in making Nigeria globally competitive, making it move from a third underdeveloped, developing, less developed world to a developed country. Because countries have done the same in our lifetime. So it's not outside our range to be able to motivate our nation and unleash the productivity. Take away all the obstacles, things holding us down from development, both at subnational levels and at the independent level. Bring support to private sector, create investment pool, foreign investment, local investment. And these investments will create businesses, will create programs, will create projects. Programs, projects, and businesses will create jobs. Jobs will create wealth. Wealth will drive away poverty. And we have the opportunity ad infinitum. I think we need somebody, and I want to assure you that some delegates will vote for people like us who may not give them much money.
All right. Former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, made headlines after announcing his shocking exit from the PDP. He cited some recent developments within the party, hindering him from making constructive contributions. Now, are you privy to any of such development within your party?
For me, first, I am a man under authority, as they say. I understand how systems work, organization. I've been CEO of multinational companies. I understand there's order and system in every organization. We may never like what the bosses or the people at the top do, but the important thing is that you always have a choice. It's either to comply with what they do or you find another opportunity. For me, I have seen nothing wrong with what the party, except that they refuse to zone. We have made that point very clear, that we'll have preferred that they zoned to the south and then to the southeast. That point has been made from beginning 2019, 2020. I've been in the vanguard. I'm on record to say that it would be unfair to deny the Igbo. This was 2019, opportunity in 2023. I've been a member of the Southeast for President 2023 campaign. I've joined many other UBNI. I've joined many other groups that have LDF, that have campaigned, PAMPIEC, all many Nigerian groups. Some are even led by non-Igbo or non-Southeasterners, saying that the time has come to bring healing to our country, to ensure that we can run an inclusive nation where we protect the weak, protect the poor, protect the disadvantaged. But the party seems to have changed its mind. I always say that the party has a right to change its mind because it's an organization. It was one that decided to zone. It can decide to unzone. It's just that changing the rule at the middle of the game left many of us not happy. But I have said from the beginning that I didn't come into this race because I'm from the Southeast. I'm the first Nigerian to declare openly that I'm going to run for office. From 2020, when I launched the New Nigeria Group, to 2021, when I declared my interest in PDP. This channel had given me the opportunity each time to make those communications to our people. So I haven't come just as an afterthought. I wasn't looking for a subsidiary position. I want to be president of Nigeria by the grace of God and with the support of Nigerians. If I don't get it, I move on with my life and do other things that can contribute. I'm not going to give up on this nation until I'm done. Why? I have children, I have grandchildren, I also have great-grandchildren who are Nigerians. And it's in my place to try and leave the place better than I met it. My father left a better country for me, where I could travel around the country safely, without escort, without police, where I could finish school in June. In July, I was working. 3 months, I got a car loan. 2 years after, I got a second car from my company, Pfizer. So as a 3-year-old pharmacist, I had 3 cars in my garage. My father left me a country where 1 million naira was equivalent to was up to almost $2 million, till it came to, even when I got married, it became $1.58 million to 1 million naira. Today, 1 million naira is less than $2,000. That's not the country I want to live for my children, because it's perpetual pushing them into poverty and irrelevance in global, calculation.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Today is Children's Day. What do you have for the Nigerian child?
I have a prayer for them, that the Nigerian child will grow and enjoy, if better benefits and better childhood than I did when we played in the sun, under the moon, when we sang hymns, when we went to the streams, when we walked the roads without anybody kidnapping us, when we walked the roads without running into armed robbers or bandits. I pray that they will grow up to become the kind of children we wish they become, leaders of our country, who will bring innovation, who will bring creativity, and who will change both the moral and the ethical tone of our country. I wish the Nigerian child a better childhood than I did. At least, if not better, may they have the kind of childhood that I had, where I went to school on scholarship, I got ill and I went to the hospital. Nobody asked me to pay money. I could call a taxi up to my doorstep or walk in a bus and drive to my destination. I went to Kingsway stores. I went to all the places with my friends, and we had good time.
Okay.
I wish that we also have such issues coming to the children on this day, and that they should look forward to a better Nigeria. A new Nigeria is on the offing, whether we like it or not.
Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you, Mazi Samuel.